with Gina.
The news with Gina Grad.
Well, a couple big baby announcements. First, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, better known as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they welcomed their little kid on Monday. It's a boy. Also, the first interracial baby in the British monarchy's recent history. Newborn is seventh in line to the throne, right behind Prince Harry. It's not
What's
clear.
What's the last name on Prince Harry? What happened to all the last names?
Well, it depends. The Queen has to dole that out to you, and I think he's going to be a lord. But frankly, I find this very confusing and boring, although some people seem to be super into it. But I do
Why
feel
is
he's
she
gonna be
still a
lord.
Markle? I mean, I get it. Like, you had a career, you had a name, or you had a whatever. But she wasn't householdy.
No.
And if you marry the dude, if you get the Prince Charming, you got to go with the last
You
name.
commit
right?
to the whole experience.
Yeah,
I say
even
you
if he
do.
wants to make up your last name. If he's like, you're now Megan
Something of something.
Yeah, Megan I don't know, Sniffle Tits, whatever,
Sniffle
you know,
Tits.
or
Of Sussex.
of Sussex.
Well, so the whole thing is a bunch of sort of pomp and circumstance that we don't really need. Why this slice of reality in the middle of this?
Yeah.
Well, that's their thing. That's Harry and Meghan's thing. They buck all the traditions. They don't seem to care about any of this.
Good,
so-
good. Get a job at a Jamba Juice and shut the fuck up.
Really
then.
shut
Like,
up.
don't be if you're going to take the scepter with all
Yeah.
the royal diamonds in it,
Yeah.
then you do
Play
what
along.
we tell you to
You do the
Yeah.
scepter shit.
Exactly.
Also, what do you think? Who do you think would have to have a baby, celebrity-wise, to trump the news of their baby?
Well, I'm glad you asked, AdamRay.
Arnold and another maid.
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad you asked because it was just announced about a half an hour ago. Amy Schumer had her baby late
Whoa.
Sunday night. And while everyone else loves to do those big elaborate gender reveals, Adam, I don't know if you caught her gender reveal online.
Somebody sent me or texted me a picture of her, like, super pregnant from, like, a week ago or something, like, doing
Yeah.
a belly
Yeah.
pull-up thing.
Yeah. Well, she did just give birth last night, and instead of saying, oh my God, it's a this, she posted an Instagram rant about Wendy's fast food place, called for a boycott of the fast food chain, then entered with the gender reveal. So this was her post. She shared a picture of herself and her husband in the doctor's waiting room and wrote, quote, and by the way, this was a response. Chance the Rapper called for Wendy's to bring back their spicy nuggets. So this was her response. She said, Wendy's is the only fast...
I'd like to bring back some of our founding fathers and try to explain to them what the fuck is going on. Yeah, the
Calling for the spicy nugget return.
Yeah.
They're free?
The Duchess of Dingleberry's half black. Chance the Rapper. No, yeah, he's free. He can do what he wants.
He's free? He can roam wherever he
He
pleases?
may roam where he pleases, and he's decreeing that there must be a callback, or he must bring back the spicy nuggets again.
That's what he's using his platform for.
That's
Yeah.
what he's using his platform for.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been, but this isn't the first example. Like, Bob Barker, when he used to be like, get your, cut off your dog's
Yeah.
dicks and clits, or whatever he said, spayed and
think that
neutered.
was it.
I think,
Right.
yeah, I'm paraphrasing. But, like, I was always like, dude, there's so many other issues we could be throwing out here at the end of Price is Right.
That's what he's known for.
Like
I'm gonna
spicy nuggets.
I can make a note to talk to Kimmel after the show. It's going to be hey, listen, partner, I don't have the juice in this town, but you got 11 million followers? Taco Bell used to make something called the Bell Beefer. Hear me out. Just
Hear me out.
honestly, honest to God. Yeah, okay, the Children's Hospital. We get it.
We
Yeah,
get
you
it,
got
dude.
But I haven't had a fucking Bell Beaver since I was 13, and I'm fucking jonesing.
Some of these kids want this for me to
How
be
much-
their wish.
Now, I
How
talked
much
to
better would their lives be?
I talked to Chance about it.
The rapper?
Yeah, well, he's working on the Shamrock Shake right now, so he told me to get the fuck out of his van.
So funny.
So I need you. Yes, okay. So Chance is called.
He wants the spicy nuggets.
He wants the
All right.
spicy nuggets
So
back.
Amy responded and said, Wendy's is the only fast food chain refusing to protect farm worker women from sexual assault and rape in the fields. This is true. Please read the sentence again.
To be fair to her, her publicist got to her and said, look, everything in American life has now been ruined. It's all ruined. Everything is ruined. Disneyland is ruined.
Big time.
Politics is long
Yep.
gone. Everything is over. College camps ruined. There's one thing, Amy, that's still not ruined.
Still brings joy?
It's fast food. There's one category
I know, dude.
that we have not fucking ruined with horrible politics, and it's just fast food. And she went, oh, yeah?
I'm in.
I'll fix that
Yeah.
shit.
my beer.
Watch this. Hold my beer.
There's one last thing that's not ruined. I'm going to ruin it. This is awesome.
So she said, message for the people in charge. Instead of spicy nuggets, we want food that is harvested with dignity, not violence. Please join Fair
Oh, wait,
Food.
which one is white and which one's black?
The Amy Schumer.
Oh, she's
white.
black one?
She's the white one.
Oh, she wants harvested with dignity.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other one just wants the spicy bread-covered nuggets.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, yeah, it's making sense.
Okay.
I didn't know either artist at the beginning. I wasn't sure. So I have black female comedians and the white guys out there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I get it.
So she brought it home and said, please join the Fair Food program and boycott Wendy's. By the way, we're having a boy.
This is the black guy?
This is the white woman.
Oh, yes. All right. Feel stupid.
It's quite the reveal.
Yeah.
God, raping in the fields for the burgers? Is that a true...
She said, read this sentence again. This is true.
Oh,
so,
boy.
All
right.
who's not going to believe her?
Jesus Christ. Imagine living with that shrew. Like, imagine just everything you wanted to do. Like, every time you wanted to get in your car,
Yeah, you get
go
the rug
somewhere,
pulled out.
buy something. It's like, you know where that comes? You know how many indigenous people gave their
Jesus,
lives so that
yeah.
you could have that IPA? Like, it's got to be taxing, right?
Tough stuff. Well, she's related to Chuck Schumer, and she's been very vocal about
She is?
gun violence.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez, I guess I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I don't either.
Makes sense. Max Zapata, was I looking? Alyssa Milano's.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to Alyssa Milano's podcast
the new
over the weekend.
podcast.
We can't wait
Because
for
I was
that.
only flirting with the idea of killing myself. And I was like, I flirt with it all the time, but I never really commit.
Yeah.
And
Well, if
I
you want to
thought-
go full kill yourself,
yeah,
listen to her
listen.
podcast.
Sorry,
yeah.
Tony.
No, I mean, look, I listened to it, and it's, look, don't listen to it again because you will take that knife.
I thought I've got to do it, and I just kicked it on, and it was like I lay down with my daughter on her bed at night. I dream of a world where women can move forward, a world where they don't get 70% on the dollar, and blah blah blah. And it was just
Blah, blah, blah.
I just thought, are you really this miserable? You're a 47-year-old rich woman who's good looking. What's going on? And I get the part where there's injustice, and we need to work on it. We all need to do that. Do we need to be consumed in all of it all the
Like
time?
your identity.
Yeah, I haven't heard it, but I did read some of the reviews.
Oh, it's awesome.
And a lot of people said, I did read a few that said, I'm a fan of hers. I've always liked her. I've always respected her, but she really needs to check her facts on the first podcast. So I don't know what that's referring to, but I think it was
she had
a
this,
lot off the cuff.
She has a great one, Max. Do you have the one about the 50% of maids in?
That was it.
That was it was great. She's like, I have to tell my daughter that she lives in a world where 50% of maids, 50% of hotel workers say they've had the clients expose their genitalia to them. And I'm like,
50%.
is it
That's a lot.
Are they? They're coming out of the shower.
Yeah.
Like you,
But even
you,
still.
you have a magic key card that lets you into the room
While they're changing.
They're
By the way,
coming out of the shower,
more-
drying their
yeah.
hair. That's not exposing themselves.
No, it's quite the other way around.
More often than not, they're in the room before they've even knocked. It's like key open, they're knocking while they're inside.
Yes.
So it's like there's a lot of opportunity for like, oops, like you caught me in
I
the.
would say any business where you enter people's rooms
There's a
because you
chance-
have a master key and you do it whenever you want, there's a very good chance that you may see them.
Yeah.
You might see
Every
some
once in
peen,
a while.
and
Right.
not 50% though. That's a lot.
That's insane.
Or is that? Or maybe it's like 20, and then there's another 30 of guys going, oh,
Oh,
you know,
like, it's the problem with all the new, who's been sexually assaulted. Well, how do you define sexual assault? A guy put his hand on my lap when we were sitting on the bus. That's sexual assault. Okay, well then I've been
Count
sexually
it.
assaulted. 99% of high schoolers have been sexually assaulted in the last 4 days. Like, okay, I don't know. You can find the clip, or Max or Pat will find the clip, but it made me think about it. I just thought, why would you want to go? Look, I assume that there is some instances of folks, men, who are staying in hotels exposing themselves to maids. I'm sure it exists. Now, is it 1%? Is it 3%? I don't know. I'm sure it exists. I would like to see if we could get that down to a 0. It's never going to be a 0, but I'd like to see if we could put a little thing. You announcing that half the people that work at hotels have been through this.
Yeah.
I don't think is quite right. Yeah.
She's saying this to her daughter on the bed before bedtime.
This is how she
We
falls
have
asleep.
to listen. Maxipad will find that.
I know you're drifting off and you'll dream about this, but
He'll find
50%
he'll
of
find the
it.
clip.
I know you wanted to count sheep or listen to some.
But hear this.
Yeah, but hear this. Riddle me this.
Do you got a clip? No?
Still looking.
Oh, okay. We could play a clip on my screen. Suggests you have a clip.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had a different one queued up.
Oh, we can
before,
play
so-
the different one.
Oh,
That's
now-
fine.
now
Whatever you
we're
got
at it.
queued up.
Okay,
I know
we'll
you were
queue-
getting ready to pass out, sweetheart, but just want you to know Sylvia saw 5 dicks at a Town Inn and Suites last Sunday. Anyway,
dreams.
sweet dreams. Good luck at school tomorrow.
All right. Maxipad. Well, you can keep going.
All right, buy him some
Maxipad will
time.
try to find the clips.
Well, what many people loved about Game of Thrones throughout, 8 seasons is this meticulous attention to detail. Every little thing is perfect at all times. But Sunday night, an eagle-eyed viewer spotted something that was very out of place for the town of Winterfell. I'm not going to give anything away, minimal spoilers, because I know not everyone's watched it yet, but I don't want anyone to hate me. But there is a clear shot of a to-go coffee cup in front of one of the mainest of main characters.
Yo, how does that happen?
On a table in the middle of the scene, the woman, I won't even say her name. She's getting paranoid. She's getting upset. She doesn't know, what's going on. And there's a tight shot of her with a Starbucks cup sitting right in front of her. The label, it looks like a Starbucks label facing the camera. A Reddit user found this, and many on the internet began to notice and finally got a tweet back from the cinematographer who said himself, I know there are exactly the right amount of Starbucks cups in the shot because I shot it. So I imagine that was him being a little cheeky and maybe sort of offering his version of an apology.
That's actually a joke because the last
is it?
episode was so dark. Everyone was complaining how dark it was that the
Right.
cinematographer said, I actually shot it the way. I knew it, and I did that on purpose.
Oh.
So he's
So he's
Okay, that
making
was
fun
an
of the
referencing
hated
cinematographer.
himself.
cue, but
Maybe she's
fun.
pissed because it clearly was like a latte with almond milk and not soy. And also, how nobody caught that is. I haven't seen the show.
Continuity issue.
So, and I probably won't. I have seen Shanghai Nights twice, but
I've never
exhausting.
seen it either. But
This is
Amy
exhausting.
Schumer sent a tweet in. Said,
Wait,
twat in as long as the indigenous people of Sumatra who harvest the beans for Starbucks are enslaved, she will boycott
Yeah, that makes
Starbucks.
sense.
Yes.
Gina, do you watch the show?
I do.
Oh, God, I was going to say we almost had a clean sweep 4 for 4.
Yeah.
does this ruin it for you?
No, I don't care. And I don't notice stuff like that. I mean, nobody
If
who
that
watched
ruins
this noticed
the
it.
dragon should ruin it for you if you're a stickler for
Yeah. And this is, it's
authenticity.
I like to, Brian loves movies. I like series and,
Yeah.
TV shows and stuff. And I'm sort of watching the macro. I'm not looking for stuff like this. I never would have noticed.
Can I be honest? This actually makes me want to watch it more because now I'm like, what other product placement is waiting in the wings? You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Like, is there
somebody has a laptop open?
Yeah, or a koosh ball? Like,
No.
is there somebody trying to battle a dragon with a super soaker? Like, there's other opportunities here for.
But people fans are outraged because they're like, you had
Outraged.
2 years.
You did.
There was 2 years in between season 7, season 8, and you couldn't remember to take the coffee
Also,
cup out.
could have been strategic.
They
You know what I'm saying?
saying?
can. They can scrub anything digitally
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Like when you do
They
this
left
kind
that.
of stuff, I've done this kind of stuff before where you go, oh, there's a C stand like in the shot, and you're like, how much you get rid of it? And they're like $3,000. And you're like, you want to do that? Like, but for them,
It's a pittance.
it's $3,000 and they digitally get rid of it. Max Patty, you have a clip of Alyssa Milano?
Yeah, this is her new podcast.
I forgot. Max Patty, why don't you tell me? Tony's in. Come on, man. Sorry, we'll play.
These are women who are targeted precisely because they are vulnerable. Women whose abusers count on their silence. Well, I thought it was time we heard those stories too. So on that Sunday, I got into bed with my kids. I watched my daughter sleep. And I wept for her. I vowed that her future would be different. And that's where I was when my friend Charlotte Clymer sent me a message with the idea, a call to action first sounded about a decade ago by the great Tarana Burke. It was at once a small act of solidarity and a chance to illustrate the enormous scope of this plague in our society. If you have been sexually harassed or assaulted, reply with "Me Too." The predators already had their platforms. This, I hoped, could be ours. These men who had demanded access to our bodies thought they themselves were untouchable. This, I hoped, could finally tip the balance of power. By sharing our stories in which we were the protagonists, we made clear that every single one of us is so much more than just the victim of someone else's actions.
Her daughter chimes in. Hey, you got any Yertle the Turtle or something Dr. Seuss-esque? This is starting to bum me out.
Oh, the places
one fish,
you'll go.
red fish, blue fish.
Yeah, you're kind of haunting my dreams here with all this talk about rape and, being
And as I lay here thinking, how will the future be different? I know that it won't. Look, I go to IHOP. I want a
Tony,
chicken apple
what?
sausage. Sometimes I get hash browns with pubes on them.
This girl was hammering a paycheck when she was 7.
Yeah.
Like, what? How tough a road was that? I don't
know.
Did you have any idea, Tony?
Well, look, there were some seasons where she got a little pipey about, the way things were being run.
Mm-hmm.
She'd come in sometimes and be like, does Tony have to show that much chest? And I said, okay, well, you tell that to the gym. But, it's one of these things where, you have a voice, have an opinion, but, you know what I'm saying? Also, shut up.
All right, Max Bada, I think a little bit after this. I gave you a couple of time codes. She is talking about the maids a little bit later on. You can find that
We'll get it.
at some point. Go ahead, Gina. Sorry.
Well, Adam Sandler hosted SNL over the weekend for the first time since he was fired
So
from the
good.
1995
Oh, he did?
series.
I missed
Yeah,
it.
Yeah, it was
season.
amazing.
He ended the appearance with an emotional tribute song about his late friend and castmate Chris Farley.
Got a little dusty in the
a little dusty.
No Pleasure household.
There were some jokes, but there were also some more sort of sincere moments. And I'll just give you the big finish of the song.
Hey, buddy, life's moved on, but you still bring us so much joy. Make my kids laugh with your YouTube clips, oh, Tommy boy, yeah. And when they ask me who's the funniest guy I ever knew, I tell them hands down without a doubt it's you. Yeah, I miss hanging out, watching you try to get laid. But most of all, I miss watching you torture Spade. You're a legend like you wanted, but I still wish you were here with me. And we were getting on a plane to go shoot Grown Ups 3. Yeah, life ain't the same without you, boy. And that's why I'm singing about my boy Chris Farley. And if we make enough noise, maybe he'll hear us. Give it up for the great Chris Farley.
It's pretty great.
Alyssa Milano tweeted that that was problematic.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah, it was very male-centric.
Playing tribute to a white
There's
male.
no women. There's no people of color. There's no indigenous people.
So
There's the
white.
LGBT community was
No, she's right
excluded
about
from
that.
that song.
She has a point.
She called it problematic.
Oh, man. Toxic.
Toxic and
I
problematic.
don't like it as much now.
Yes. All right, let me hit this. Max Pat, I'll let you find. It's at the end, and it's one of those time codes I gave you.
We're scrubbing through it.
All right, Max Zapata, you have that little clip?
Here we go.
Past time to pass an equal rights amendment that guarantees women's protection in the Constitution. We need other protections too: paid family leave, equal pay for equal work, the Violence Against Women's Act, a domestic workers' Bill of Rights in all 50 states. And even though we shouldn't need a law that equips hotel housekeepers with panic buttons, apparently we do. Chicago passed one after a survey of hospitality workers found that half had seen a guest expose himself. As one hospitality worker in California put it, they feel that they have the right to the lady who cleans the room.
Well, as long as you tip. But
Now, I got to tell you, things look pretty slow right here, but I think it's going to pick up.
again, I feel like that was the wording of the question. I feel like you walked in on a lot of people, but I don't know about volitionally exposing yourself to the person who walks in the room.
Seems a lot more likely that the door would open, all of a sudden, like, I'm in the shower, I'm in the bathroom, or whatever it is, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry.
Or nothing, like open it up and they don't know they're in there.
Yeah.
We've all had that.
Also, do they tattle? Like, do they get, like, I feel like that's grounds for, like, an immediate removal, right?
For tattling.
If they go back and they're like, hey, this guy just, like, what do you think the staff is? Are they giving validity to that, or are they...
I like that my equal pay for equal work joke that I've never done, but I've said it on this show a million times, which is, whenever they do that, women get paid 76 cents for every dollar a man makes. I go, are they mad because they're getting paid less or because they're being paid in change? Because that would be upsetting. A huge sack, like every Friday.
Yeah, it's a big bummer.
Big old sack of change you have to take home while the guy's got his billfold out, and you got a big
find a coin star somewhere.
Yeah, you got to find a coin star, because that's what ladies have to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sorry. I'm a woke comedian. All right, where were we, Gina?
Well, speaking of working ladies, Kim Kardashian has scored another victory in her crusade for prison reform. The mogul and her legal team helped free a man serving a life sentence for a low-level drug offense.
I have a thing going on with her, which is right about the time I don't want to fuck her, I think I'm going to be in love with her.
Oh, wow. The
yeah.
apex.
We're really far away.
Yep.
Yeah.
15 years ago. But each year that goes on, she gets a little more impressive.
Yeah, this is a big one. She made the announcement on Twitter saying Jeffrey Stringer will be soon be home. According to TMZ, Stringer, who's been behind bars for 22 years, was convicted for drug possession when he was 25, but because he had 2 drug priors, he got life under the federal 3 strikes law. Kim, who's studying to be a lawyer, had played roles in recent releases of Centoya Brown, Alice Marie Johnson, and Matthew Charles, and she's doing really well. I mean, according to reports, she gets $1 million per Instagram post. So,
I was just talking to
someone. She could just be chilling, but she's doing something pretty amazing.
Yeah. I'm all for it. You know, these people, though, I got to say this. Like, we have stupid or liar, stupid or felon, which is like this guy. There's 3 strikes. He's in California. Got 3 strikes. He's already got 2. He steals a 50-cent sack of Doritos, and he's got to go. And it's like, well, maybe he shouldn't have done that. Like,
that's a history of criminal behavior.
You don't have to steal Doritos. Like, there is no law. You could probably make
Quite
it
the opposite.
I could probably make it from now into the grave without stealing a sack of Doritos. Do you think you could make it? And if you said to me, hey, buddy, you got 2 strikes, you, of all people, can't be stealing it. Like the thing where it's like, he got busted for this, he got busted for that, and then he was just dealing a little weed. And it's like, we'd like you to stop. That's kind of the reason we made the rules, because we'd like you to stop involving yourself in this commerce. Yeah. We don't want you to do this anymore. So we're trying to create a bunch of stuff. And then it's like, then I get locked up for doing this? No. You got locked up for the first 2 things you did, and then you did this.
You doubled down.
Yeah.
You got 2. It's called 3 strikes, not no strikes, not random
baseball,
strikes,
right?
not where's he live, I'm getting him pulling him out of his den strikes. This is 3.
Yeah. You didn't have a full count. You got right to it.
Some judge told you after the 2nd strike, you do any of this shit again, you're going to be in forever, and you fucking did it.
He tried to get off on come on.
Come on, it's a sack of Doritos. Like, every single, when we did Love Line, I'll put Bald Brian on the spot here. When someone would talk about their boyfriend being locked up, and I would go, and it's like, he did nothing. Like, he did not. I'd go,
he didn't do anything.
Why is he locked up? Number one answer?
They'd say didn't do anything, and the cops didn't like him or something like that.
But why is he locked up?
Oh, it was for like stealing a pack of gum or something.
Parole violation. Like you were born on parole. Then you stole a pack of gum, and now you're doing 3 years. No. It was aggravated assault, put on parole, stole pack of gum. Right. You didn't have to be put on parole. Right. You're on parole. And they're like, he didn't do anything. He walked out to the mailbox, and he has a parole. He left the state for like 20 minutes. It's like,
sure.
Yeah, he's on parole. You and I could leave the state. That would be fine. We're not on parole.
He licked some lady's bagel bites at the Marie Callender's. So what if he beat a guy to death 2 weeks before that?
Right. Yes, that's the
violation.
the thing. Like parole violation was the number.
It's just a simple parole violation.
Yeah, but it was always like, of course, the parole violation is going to be ticky-tack because the rules of parole. Look, if you go and kill your neighbor with a rake, that's not a parole. I mean, it is, but you're going in anyway.
Yeah.
If you're going in for a parole violation, it's because you went somewhere after work instead of home, or you left the state, or you walked more than 100 feet outside of your house, or whatever the stipulation of the parole is. So, yes, it's a parole violation, and yes, it's nothing if we do it. We do it every day, but we're not on parole.
Not on parole.
We have also
saying it's called 3 strikes.
Like the resources to track people down are pretty incredible now, right? Like if you're out and about and you're trying to get away, like that boot and the lock, right? They just have sensors on you.
He dealt a little weed. Yes, I know. After being asked to please stop for a number of years.
I'm sorry. Are you suggesting that it's like the grocery cart that you can't push past the parking lot? Like your anklet locks up?
Yeah.
Did you know this? That's so futuristic.
They have that?
Like you can't take another step?
A Denver boot for your ankle?
Yeah. Do they?
Oh,
No.
I thought you were suggesting they did.
I was asking, yeah.
Oh, God, that would have been exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So sci-fi, dystopian future. You're stuck.
We're headed that way.
And look, I don't want people to do 22 years for dealing weed, but look, people...
Depends on how shitty the weed is.
Yeah.
Shake and seed.
At a certain point, when you're involved with illegal activity and the state asks you to knock it off
repeatedly,
feel free to knock it off.
Yeah.
And this like notion is like, these guys are just dealing a little weed. Like, these guys have an entire life of not paying taxes, not taking care of their kids,
Story
not
past.
doing whatever.
Yeah.
They're not just dealing a little weed. So, look, I don't want them locked up forever. I don't know what the answer is, but let's not make them into folk heroes. It's a 3rd strike. All right.
It's taking advantage of your chances, right? They're just like, I'll probably get another one if I got off on this one.
Yeah, that's also, I don't know.
Got to learn your lesson after a while. I used to run down the stairs with a plate full of spaghetti and meatballs when I was a fat kid to try to catch the Disney afternoon on time.
Right.
And every time, 3 times in a row, I tripped. My mom was at work. Only one thing of spaghetti and meatballs was left, and I lost all the spaghetti and meatballs. But every time I would go, I jump, walk to the Disney afternoon. Did I learn? No. Ran down the stairs every time, tripped, whole fucking meal on the floor. Yeah, raccoons outside, sniffing, waiting for it.
At least you had stairs.
Spaghetti.
Yeah. That suggests another floor to your home. All right, what do we got?
Well, the way you feel about Kim Kardashian, it's possible you could be feeling the opposite about Diana Ross if she was ever in your hot category.
I want to smoke around her.
Careful.
I just feel like she's got to be one of the worst people to smoke around.
Oh, yeah.
You start gesticulating with your cigarette in your hand, and she's doing a weird maneuver where her hair's trying to like push out of the way, and you're like, no, seriously. I mean, you ever been in a spruce goose and your hands flying around? She's like, oh, she's got that huge tuft of hair just swinging around. She's a Roman candle, just ready, all covered with Aquanet and all teased out.
Super
and everything.
flammable.
She's going to go up.
Yeah.
The spruce goose.
You want to be at a birthday party with her, man.
Or do you?
70 years young. Blow those candles out. Here we go, Diana.
Well, she claims a TSA pat-down in New Orleans left her feeling violated. The singer tweeted on Sunday that she was treated like royalty in the city where she performed at Jazz Fest, but when she got to the airport...
Diva, right?
Yeah, it was a different story.
Does anyone... Just pat. Everyone is violated.
Yeah.
Everyone is violated. When you pull out and they're like, sir, we need you. Was it a toiletry bag? And you pull it out and it's a thing of toothpaste and it's 3/4 of the way rolled up and they unroll it and they're like, it says 4 ounces. And you're like, yeah, there's
Clearly
less than an ounce left. It's sorry, sir. And they throw it away. You're violated.
Yeah.
You're violated. It's all violation.
Yep.
The whole thing, the pat down and
The
the
touching,
back of the hand on the nutsack and everything.
For
It's
sure.
all there.
Yeah, if you're lucky, you get the front. But also, unless they put a finger, like in your butt, like what is really like the
What
pat
did they
down?
do?
It's just like
She's just a diva.
Nobody's really.
Let's break down what happened to Diana Ross. She's
okay.
75, and she said that the pat down was over the top, and said it made her want to cry.
Over the top
she
of what?
Tweeted, "It's
Sequence.
Yeah.
She said, "It's not what was done, but how I still feel." Her hands between my legs, front and back, saying it was her job.
Alyssa Milano tweeted that half of the Supremes have been groped.
50%?
At airports. Yeah.
Oh, my
1.5.
There are only 3 of them.
You know what I'm saying? But it averages out. Well, Yeah, actually, it was done by the Pips.
Oh.
Yeah.
Makes more
More of a
sense.
turf
Yeah.
war.
Black on black
Yeah.
crime.
Well, a TSA spokesperson told Fox News, quote, TSA is committed to ensuring all travelers are treated with respect and courtesy. TSA is aware of concerns presented by Diana Ross about her screening.
Sure.
And that's it. They're not apologizing.
She should look.
No.
She's 75. She's a diva. She's a nutcase.
Yeah.
She's super flammable.
TSA.
She should be flying private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at this point, you're
Come on,
Diana Ross,
Diana
baby.
Ross.
Live
That's
it
on you.
up.
That's on
You got
you.
a couple years
It's
left.
on
Like,
you.
go at it.
And here's the thing.
Quit making yourself susceptible for like heavy, warm breaths on the back of your neck. That's making you uneasy.
What, by the way, it just shows you how like insanely at it. Like this is all her and this is all her diva-ness, right? Like the airports.
Once a diva, always a diva, right?
Yeah. What are they?
Well, and it was the same gender. They do the front and the back pat up, but she's claiming that this is something different than the rest of us get.
She's right. It's all a waste of time. She's right. She's a 75-year-old pop icon who should never be pulled out of line for anything in this nature. She's right about all that. In terms of what is actually done to her, that's the same that's done to everybody.
Well, that's a great.
I think that's the grievance.
That's a good point. Like, shouldn't they see people like Diana Ross and be like, no threat, go on through? Or do you think that was somebody being like, oh, a chance for a little DR pat down?
But
step aside, sweetheart. I don't like the way your shoes look.
But they have them felt up by a woman. They have the same sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she did.
Oh, then what's...
Yeah. I would argue for dudes, as long as we're asking. You know what I mean? Like, you want a massage, Adam? You want a massage from a dude or a chick? So I'll take a chick.
Yeah.
Like, you want someone feeling your nutsack?
Yeah.
I'll go with the chick.
Always.
Always. Well,
Even if she's got my haircut.
I get the chick on chick over here, but don't bother getting a dude for me.
Boy, they don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could pick a nationality. Now that's I'm
Now
all
we're
ears.
talking, yeah.
Yeah, but gender. Let's
Southeast
go.
Asia. I cannot be more specific.
Let's go with the ladies. Yeah. Or an islander.
Oh, yeah. Pacific.
Mix it up.
Okay.
If it's your birthday.
Let's do one more.
All right. Well, Oprah Winfrey, she left 60 Minutes because she said she couldn't be herself. The TV legend, who had been a special correspondent, tells The Hollywood Reporter, quote, never a good thing when I have to practice saying my name and have to be told that I have too much emotion while saying my name. She added that the long-running show wasn't a good fit for her. She said, so I was working on pulling myself down, flattening out my personality, which for me is not a good thing. She started the gig in 2017, and she describes it as an interesting experience.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't hold Oprah back from being Oprah.
Yeah, she needs a platform where she can express herself.
Yeah.
If only.
She's made a name, and how much emotion was she saying her own name with?
Too much.
Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah. hey.
I went upon
Inside voice.
I'll guarantee what happened.
Yeah.
Like, they sat down and the engineer guy went, just give us 3. I'm Oprah Winfrey. Or like, I'm Oprah, you know, she's going to cut her cold open or whatever. They went, just give us like 3 different, and she gave them 1. And they went, okay, but just give us the other 2. So, like, if we're doing a serious story or we're doing a fun, frivolous story, we have a kind of different take on it. Give us like 3 different ones. And she didn't want to do that. It wasn't like, you don't know how to pronounce your name. It was like, everyone who's done anything like this knows you give 3.
Yeah.
Or you give like,
give options.
They go, let's try it again.
Yeah.
Let's just have options.
Yeah.
Have options. And she didn't want to give
wasn't
options.
down.
That's what it was. It wasn't like I didn't like the way she said her name. That's
that's petty.
Put through the divinator
Yeah.
and push through the airport.
Divinator.
That is that
Oh, my
same
God.
thing with Diana Ross. Like it
Yeah.
got pushed through the divinator. That was just some schlubby
normal
white
request.
guy going, "We always do 3." And she's like, "Well, I'm not everybody."
Yeah.
Even Dr. Phil knows to be like, where did he touch you? Where did he touch you? Where did he touch you? Like, even he knows.
That's right.
Yeah.
3 takes.
Give 3.
Yeah, you give 3 takes.
Do we get it? Okay. One more? Okay. Where did he touch you? Like, I think we're probably going to go with the second one, but thanks for that 4th one, just in case.
Yeah, Phil, that had a little too much Barney Fife in it.
Okay, sure.
So a little less Barney Fife, please.
Where? And it's probably a serious episode, right?
Oh, if there's touching, yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I know that going in. Where did he touch you?
That was good.
Too serious at the end?
Well, I want to say have fun with it.
It is
but,
Sweeps Week, yeah.
But see if we can just string it
Andre
together.
Agassi is on next, so we're talking tennis.
Let's just kind of string it together. Not such a big pause in between where did he and touch you. We'll just kind of put them together.
Where did he I sound like I'm crying in this take.
Yeah, no,
I'm fine with it. I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah, you're contemplating this tragedy, but it hasn't you've not fully absorbed it
no,
yet.
I got it. So, so you told me he put his hand. So,
Phil, we're looking for 3 clean,
okay,
so where did he touch you?
Great. So, Miss Ross, you said the TSA agent.
Hold on. Doctor?
Oh, sure.
Phil?
Yeah.
Can I call you Phil?
Of course.
All right. Doctor, this is a different story, the whole Diana Ross story.
Oh.
We want to get these clean.
Great. Where did he put it? Where did he?
So, Phil.
Well, that's too specific,
What
probably.
you said there is put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the script, we have where did he touch you?
Great. Well, but sometimes my conversations get loose and I improv a little. People don't know I trained at the Groundlings.
Understood, but now's not that time, and I'm not Mindy Sterling.
Well, not with that attitude. Where did he touch you?
Oh, that's good.
There it is.
So
That's
we'll
the
get
one.
3.
That felt
Let's
good.
get 3 clean.
Can I get a smoothie?
I may have stepped on that one.
One more. Here we go.
Let me shut my mic off.
And I'll cut right to camera right after this. Because anytime you follow up a where did he touch you and then you stop the kid from talking and cut to commercial, that's ratings.
Oh, Phil, I'm sorry. My producer just told me I was mistaken. This is the Diana Ross airport story.
It is. Okay, great.
We're doing. I'm sorry. Here we go.
Well, that changes my... So, Miss Ross, I have to say, you should be honored to get touched where you were touched, okay? Frankly, I go through security, and they barely put a hand on my nuts, okay? So consider yourself lucky, okay, that people are putting hands all over your sequins and in spots where, frankly, I feel like you come in here looking super flammable, okay, with a little bit of an attitude, and where did he touch you?
So let's just get 3 clean. So where did he touch you?
Where did he touch you? Where did he touch you? We'll be right back.
Dr. Phil in the
Great.
house.
I'm going to get canceled, aren't I?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, there's me and Dr. Phil.
Touched you on the shoulder.
I forgot about that. He does have a very good sense of humor about himself. I will definitely say that about
he's
him.
the man.
Sorry. One more? Half a more?
Sure. So we've been talking about millennials and the difference between millennials and the rest of us. Well, it looks like millennials don't need cash. Cash is obsolete to them, according to a new survey. Young adults use electronic methods of paying for everything, so much so that they could be actually making cash that you hand to another person a thing of the past. Because they experienced a recession, they're using debit cards more than credit cards.
I was thinking about this on the ride in.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I've said it a million times, and I fucking well mean it. I've told you that the appreciation, as I said, the great Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray said to me at a Kimmel party many years ago, he just whispered in my ear, since when does paying for everything count for nothing? And I said, since money got invisible. It's all debit, it's all electronic, it's all whatever.
Maybe
and
that big bag of change is your answer.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
bring it
wish
home.
I was getting
The ladies.
73 cents
That's
to my
right.
dollar. Okay, I shit you not. I came home from Cobb's 3 weeks ago, and I said to my son, hey, I just went out and played Cobb's, played 4 shows at Cobb's. I made $39,826 or something. Now, half of that goes to the fucking government, but fine, because they work so hard.
Right.
And I said, what do you think, bucko? And he's like, it's okay. Like,
Could you move over? Play Fortnite.
he didn't give a shit. He didn't give a shit. But the other night, I went out. I did a show. I got paid in cash.
Ooh.
I got $500.
Feels good.
And I walked into his room when I got home, and he's laying on the bed. And I threw it down on the bed. I go, $500. 20 minutes of standing and talking. And he's like, holy shit. And I was like, that's right, bucko. And he's like, you got he goes, I don't even have $500. And I'm like, well, I got $500 for standing and making fart jokes for 20 minutes. He's like, oh, he pulls it out of the envelope and he fans it in front of him. He's like sniffing
Rolls
it.
around on it.
Tucked one in my G-string. He said, move, bitch.
Just spin all in one place.
Then he made it rain later on with Pogs.
Legos. Yeah.
Lego. He had Pokemon cards. He made them rain with Pokemon. And I thought, when I was driving in, I didn't know you were going to do the story, but I thought, $40,000 was neither here nor there. 500 cash.
Crisp bills.
Changed the game for him. And I thought, we're not that far away from that. The reason a lot of people want this or want that or don't care about, well, let them handle that or let them pay for that or they can afford this or whatever is when it's all just paid sort of automatically and you never touch it and you never see it, you completely lose your appreciation for it. Yeah, completely. It's like somebody brings up, the deficit's over $200 kajillion. You go, okay, so what else? Price of gas went up 9 cents. It's like when people speak about the deficit. It's just some weird number that just keeps going up. It has nothing to do with you and I or whatever. His reaction to $500 cash was dramatically different than, I'd like to say 10 times that, but it was, hundreds of times what that is, which did not move didn't ring his bell at all. Yeah. 500 was a big deal. And he was like, I remember one time, when I had a guy working for me, and he was kind of a simple guy, and he's kind of like a rock and roll guy, and he liked motorcycles and rock guitars and stuff. He's a regular guy.
Where did he touch you?
And I explained him, I was telling him, we're doing the Man Show, doing Loveline, doing MTV, doing this, that, and the other. And one day, I came pulling up on a custom Harley that Mike's Hard Lemonade made for me and Jimmy. They're like, we'll give you $10,000 for this Mike's Hard Lemonade, whatever, or we'll give him the custom Harley. And I was like, I'll take the Harley. Yeah. I gave me the Harley, and I came pulling up. And this guy knew I was in show business, and he knew I lived in big houses, and he knew I was flying back and forth to New York and all that kind of first class and everything. When I pulled up on that Harley, he's like, where'd you get that? They gave it to me. They gave it to you? For what? I said, I did a commercial for him. And they gave you a Harley? I'm like, yeah, for one day's work. And it's like, I could have told them they gave me $50,000 all day long, which means I could buy 3.5 Harleys. Right. But somehow, pulling up on that Harley, that's when it made sense to him. Clicked. That was half a day, 2 hours work, you got a Harley. It was like the craziest thing ever. And I realized that's how we're wired.
Yep. Yeah. You know who had it figured out from a long time ago? It reminded me because we were just in Las Vegas. Casinos with the chips, the tangibility of money versus it's just chips. It's just a red chip. It's just a green chip. You're much more willing to bet to a $25 chip than you want to throw down $25.
That's why a homeless guy won't take Venmo. They're like, yo, I want that straight hard.
I know. I tried to give a homeless guy a Diners Club, and he's like, no.
You want it?
Dude. All right, let's bring it home.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news.
Gina. That was the news with Gina Grad.